right, folks, it's that time of the podcast where we tell you that in this episode there will be swearing. We will talk about adult-themed content, and if you carry on listening, we do not take any responsibility for what your young ones may hear or will take back to their teacher. So either lock the kids away or turn the podcast off for another day. Obviously, we suggest you lock the kids away. Right, let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to our podcast.
Let's stop. Do you want to stop recording and start again? After I go into say to Alexa, I'm going to turn it off. The thing is still on.
That's our blooper. That's a real. Okay, are we ready?
Do you want me to start again?
Hello and welcome back to our Stuck in the Middle podcast, and thank you for joining us again on episode 5.
And yeah, welcome back, and we are very grateful to everyone who's still listening to us since episode 1. You have stuck with us. See what I did? See
what you did there. Very good.
Yeah, up there for dancing, thinking.
So Natalie, how's your week been this week?
Yeah, my week's been good. I was in the island of Ireland for the weekend.
Nice. We're going back home. I like that. Tell us about your weekend there.
Spent some time with my sis, so we went back on the Thursday night. Friday we went to town to have a nice meal and a few drinks, and we ended up in a cocktail bar, and we met some people who we continued drinking with, and there was a barman whose last day at work, and he was highly entertaining and full of beans. He was moving into cybersecurity, so I'm a bit worried about how exciting that's going to be for him.
Are we going to be safe though?
I'd say we will be very safe. We sat at the bar and the crack was just mighty. It was mighty.
Good.
I mean, before we got into town, we'd already drank a bottle of champagne. So then we decided we were going to go off down to O'Donoghue's.
Okay.
With some music. At which point I may or may not have rung you.
You did actually ring me, and you was rather far gone, I have to say.
I don't really remember doing that until you told me the next day. And then we went to O'Donoghue's, listened to some music. I lost my sister. I found my sister. We got a taxi, went home, and spent all of Saturday in our pajamas.
Lovely.
And then Sunday we went to the RDS for the biggest vintage clothing fair.
Nice. Did you get any bargains?
I did. I got 2 lovely dresses. So you were able to get... So you paid for entry and you could bring 5 items, and you could swap 5 items for 5 other items.
Okay.
And then there were stalls there selling stuff. So yeah, there was lots of lovely stuff there. And then on Monday, my sister dragged me up a mountain to climb it, because obviously I love climbing mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your forte, yeah.
Yeah, that's my real skill set. I'm like Charlize Theron in Apex. And we went for some coffee and cake, and we went home and had some dinner and chilled out, and then I came back on Tuesday morning. And what about you, Shell? How was your week been?
So I was supposed to go on holiday to a haven site, and actually I looked at the weather and it was pretty diabolical. And I don't know if you know, if you have been to a haven site, they are pretty crap if the weather is shit, because really you want to go to the beach and you want to go and have a look around the local area and stuff. If you can't do that because the weather is raining, you just end up trying to spend a fortune at the arcades, entertaining the kids and all that sort of thing, and you just end up spending a whole load of money that you didn't really want to. And then
designed for though.
They are, I know, yeah, they absolutely are, but it's just not our bag to do that. And then I was really poorly, unfortunately, on Sunday. I could just feel it on Saturday night coming over. I went out to bingo on the Saturday night.
Ebola. You were so sick.
I was sick, actually, but I feel a lot better today. I had a visitor yesterday who came over for some coffee and suddenly made me feel a lot better today.
Yeah, lovely coffee it was too, yeah. Yeah, see, I am just like medicine. I'm just that pill you need to make you come out of your cold.
Exactly. Everybody needs a Natalie to make them feel better. So yeah, that was my week. So we had a request on TikTok And I really just wanted to follow up on that request, really. This came from Jack's Home Find. So if anybody is looking for any kind of bargains, I suggest that you go and find her page. We'll actually tag it in this video, and we'll put it in the description so you can go and find her on TikTok, because she has a great little shop and she does a whole load of things, and she's super supported us this week. But anyway, one of her requests was, how did you guys meet and how did you start a podcast? So I thought that we could actually talk about that today, considering we haven't really told our listeners about how we met.
This is true. I mean, yeah, that's a good idea. But also I'm thinking like we could do it like a Sean Paul song. I met her at the coffee machine. Wasn't me.
Yes. So for those that don't know, Natalie and I work together, and that's how we met, is through our jobs. And the job that I went to go and start about 2 years ago now, I remember walking into the floor, and I have to say, I took one look at Natalie and she took one look at me, and you looked me up and down, and I was like,
I did not.
We're not going to get on.
I did not look you up and down. You came bouncing down like a new puppy. You were like a new puppy bouncing through the office, and I was like, oh, she's going to have to calm down.
See, it's that. It's exactly that. And I thought, oh dear, like that maybe we won't get on. And then I didn't think we saw each other, because obviously you're out and about, so I didn't think we saw each other for a couple of weeks, did we?
No, we didn't, because I was up and down the country.
Yes.
Various different places for various reasons. But then we had a town hall, didn't we? We had one of those town hall meetings.
The famous town hall meetings where the directors tell you everything's great with the company and everything's going swimmingly and it's all positive, when really it's a pile of shit. Yeah, one of those meetings.
So I think then we got a break, didn't we? So we went for coffee. So I went with you to get some coffee, and we had an old chat at the machine. I thought I would impart some of my well-earned knowledge about things that we were doing, the company, and how to get the best out of it, which I thought was very... And then we just started chatting after that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think it just took off from there, didn't it? I think we just knew that we was our kind of people from that minute on, really. And it's funny how we ended up on a coffee yesterday as well, so it kind of did a bit of a 360.
Yeah, it did, yes. And I had to go up the country to the borders of Scotland for a meeting, so I invited you to join me. And there was a lot of Prosecco drank that night.
There was.
Out for a lovely Italian.
Yes.
And then we came back and we drank more Prosecco.
We did. It was really good. And then I think from there, things just took off. So how then did we start this podcast?
A bottle of wine was consumed, or it was one of those ones where you went, I'm a bit bored tonight. Do you fancy meeting up for dinner? And we'll go out and have something to eat and maybe go for a drink.
Yes. Yeah.
And because, don't threaten me with a good time. Woohoo, I am in there. We met up, we went out, and then we drank more wine.
Yes.
And
I think it took off from there. It was an idea. It just popped into our heads.
We thought, aren't we funny?
Yeah, let's just go for it. And then from there,
do a new project and let's have some fun.
Exactly. I think then the rest really is kind of history, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's history. Then we went full on into it. Flipping by the time I'd finished, I got to lunch one day. You had bought the microphones and the lights, and everything was like
we were off. We were going for it, yeah.
There was no turning back. We were going for gold.
Exactly. And not a day have we looked back since, really.
No. And you know what? It's great fun because we're doing stuff that we wouldn't normally do. We're learning things that we wouldn't normally. And I know we said this on other podcasts, on other episodes, but we're having a bit of crack and we're having fun, and we're just, and we're not taking ourselves too seriously.
Exactly. And meeting new people as well.
And meeting new people and recording in random places where people are thinking, who are these two absolutely fat women? And we're going,
good.
Come join us, have fun.
So I think that really concludes how we sort of started and how we met, really. So we hope that answers a little bit for you.
Yes.
And now let's move on to our next section.
Right. Can I just say, I'm very upset nobody's using our bucket.
Move it back a little bit. Move it back slightly. Yeah, there you go. We got it. For those wondering what the hell is going on, you need to watch it on YouTube. Have you got it? You got it. There. Stay still. Don't move. Okay, cool. There is our fuck it bucket. And actually, I don't think we've had anybody to put anything in it, have we?
No, we need people to put some stuff in. Send us in contributions to the fuck it bucket. Because you know what? There's always something in life. Oh, I'm going to shout again. There's always something in life that deserves to go in there. So, you know, and because you don't have a bad life, you're just having a bad day. So let's just chuck it in there.
Exactly. Stick it in.
And then what we might do at the sometime, if it gets full, we might have a ceremonial fire and set it alight.
Yes. And so what we did do, though, this week is we did put out on TikTok a question and we had quite a few answers for that. So I'm just going to read it out. And I said, if you wake up in 1992 with no Wi-Fi and no cell phone, a quiet life, what's the first thing that you would do? And it was really good to see the different answers that came through. So Carcy Faye said, I would listen to music. I quite like that one, 1992. The Farleys said, I would move far, far away. I think some people were thinking like they would do things differently if they had the opportunity to go back.
They'd be like the Jetsons and move to the moon.
Maybe, who knows? Boosting Your Algorithm said, tell myself I am enough. And I think that's a good one. I think we should go and tell ourselves. Sherilyn from Tennessee said, I wake up with a newborn because that's where I was in 1992. That's super cute. Clutie Dumpling, loving these names, by the way.
Yeah, that's a great
said, I would leave him and move to London. So maybe she made a wrong choice there and didn't have the strength to leave at that time.
But you can still leave him and you can still move to London. You're still kicking. So get out there.
Monkey Watt is another one that said, my life in 1992 wasn't quiet at all. I was doing my GCSEs and then starting A-levels while I was also getting a job and a girlfriend and learning to drive in 1993. All the while I was trying to keep old friends and make new ones, and I was a hormonal hell. He also goes on to say that this fallacy that everything was simpler and quieter needs to stop.
Oh,
I'm not. Yeah, it's a little controversial there, and that's good to have different perspectives. Some people obviously didn't like that period of their time.
He has a point though, because it was just different.
It's different. I think it was simpler. It wasn't necessarily quieter. I think that's kind of what I would say. And then finally, this one was a really good one. It was again from Jax Holmes Find, who comments on everything. So again, shout out to her. She said, I would run downstairs and hug my mum and my dad. I'd go and visit my nan and my granddad and visit all the family that's no longer with me. Oh. And I was like, that hit hard. That hit hard.
Oh,
exactly. Yeah, big hugs to that one.
That's lovely. Good a bit say.
It is,
yeah.
So, Natalie, we've got any problems and predicaments this week?
Yes, we do. We love our TikTok followers. Just means we are not too old for TikTok. I think we're storming TikTok.
Well, anyway, doing all right on there.
Let's kick off with our first problem and predicament.
Go for it.
This one comes from Carol on TikTok. I am 3 years into my affair. I am now divorced, but he isn't. We were talking about an ideal relationship, and I finally understood something people kept telling me. Someone can be amazing affair partner, but not compatible as a real life partner. A lot of people who get into affairs in the first place do it because they struggle with conflict, accountability, and emotional responsibility. They don't want to face hard conversations, work through their problems, or deal with the pain of fixing or leaving their marriage. An affair becomes a shortcut. They get connection without having to do any of the uncomfortable emotional work. Do you think this is true? and that I have wasted a whole 3 years of my life and potentially a happy marriage.
No.
That's heavy.
First of all, I would say, was it a happy marriage if you went away in the first place?
I would say that, yes, if you're starting to look outside your marriage, there is something very much wrong with it. But
exactly,
not having a conversation before acting on something.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with an affair is, like, a one night stand, you can kind of understand because these things happen. But an affair requires a thought process and requires a lot of lying and a lot of creativity.
For 3 years.
For 3 years, yeah, that's a lot of. So you are very consciously making a decision.
Yes,
to be with somebody else, and you're being. For me, I think you need to be less selfish and let go of the person.
Yeah.
And if this person's still with their partner, then why are they not leaving their partner?
That was my next question. Really, is you need to ask why he hasn't already made that commitment and that jump. 3 years is a long time to keep somebody hanging on. So love yourself. If he is hanging you on and stringing you on, move on. Find somebody that you're meant to be with. The marriage in the first place might not have been the happy one. Not right, okay, but move on, girl.
Absolutely. He's having his cake and eating it. Sure. Yeah. So,
I agree.
Yeah, put him in the fucking bucket.
I got these Samsung earbuds in at the minute because we haven't got my headphones set up yet for these remote recordings, and honestly they're just driving me up the wall. Right, our next problem comes again from TikTok. Jackie sent in, and only wants to be known as Jackie. She said, and I think this echoes quite a lot of people at the moment, I feel extremely overwhelmed by money at the moment. I make £46,000 a year and I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I haven't been saving money because the tiny amount of joy that I get from paying £10 for a coffee and a cinnamon roll a couple of times a month has taken precedent over never leaving the house, getting deeper into depression. Food is expensive, life is expensive, and I've been going through the motions for a few years now. My 15-year-old car just copped out on me. My dog needs to go to the vet, and I've got no money for either of these. My credit score is in the low, and I can't get approved for any more credit limit increases or loans. Everything feels really fucking pointless about now. Yeah, I think that's everybody at the minute, isn't it?
Yeah, and I would say, Jackie, everything is not pointless at the moment. Again, your struggles are real. People are suffering at the moment with the cost of living, but there's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot to enjoy. You have a dog who loves you.
Yeah.
And have your cup of coffee, because you need to get out and have some self-care and look after yourself and meet people and chat. So don't remove that from yourself. But
I agree. I think that there is a lot of that at the moment. Is everybody is feeling the pinch and struggling. I would definitely say reach out to charities like the PDSA, because they can help with some vet bills and things if you're super struggling. That's what they're there for. They get donations for things like this, so don't struggle. And I think there's a stigma about asking for help, and it's okay to do that. That's what they're there for. So help out. And then finally, I would do
as well. People want to help.
I would totally echo your thoughts in that life is not pointless, and reach out and talk to somebody. And if you can't talk to anybody close to you, then reach out to organisations or something, because don't feel sad like that. No. Or you can just reach out to us, because we're a bit nutty and we'll cheer you up. We'll buy you a coffee.
Shelly will make you a lovely coffee.
Or I'll make you a lovely coffee. Exactly.
No.
Life is okay.
About 3 hours to make it, but she'll make you a lovely coffee. No, I'm only joking.
And then you can have the coffee and listen to us at 7:00 on every Friday. See, life is getting better already.
There is the perfect solution to everything, and that's it. Have your coffee, 7:00 on a Friday morning. Listen to Stuck in the Middle.
And do you know what else you can do with your coffee?
What can you do?
We just move on to our next section now, which is smoothly into.
You've already moved. Well, yes. Yeah.
Plug the mug. This is what we're going to call it. Plug the mug.
Oh, Christ, your puns are getting worse.
Totally.
Plug the mug. Yeah. Mug, all right. Yeah, plug the mug. Yeah. Your coffee doesn't taste like head, by the way, that you need to plug the mug.
Right, so we're plugging the mug. So if anybody would like a coffee and a cinnamon roll, they can go into the link in our bio and they can buy one of our great, and they're brilliant. I think so far we've shown you can have wine, vodka, tea, water, whatever. It's no problem.
You know, you can use it to push sweets into. You can do anything you want with it.
Exactly, yeah. So go and buy one. I haven't seen anybody else buy one this week, so come on.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Let's have a look at some podcast stats, shall we?
Well, why don't we? You go ahead. Go on.
Last week, we were reaching 175 followers on TikTok, and this week we're reaching 290. We've got over 100 followers in a week. I know we gained only 15 last week, but this week we gained 100. So you can see the growth already starting to happen. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Yeah. Next week we want to reach 200. So we want to get to 500. I think that's the goal.
So help us get there. But also, did you know that we've had 117,000 views across all of our platforms?
And that's good as well, isn't it? Everybody is chipping in and listening and sharing and liking and stuff, which is great. And when we look at the countries that we're reaching as well, because Spotify gives us that information, tells us we've got Australia, which I think we can shout out to your guys in Australia. That's Shane. We also have USA, which is brilliant. I think that's Claire supporting as well, so I'm going to give a big shout out to her. Canada, we've reached. Ireland, of course, which is your guys as well, and Sharon. We also had Russia and Japan, which was very surprising. So shout out to those.
I hope nobody asks us to translate, because my Russian Japanese is pretty shocking. But I think it's a good stab, but I might end up in the Kremlin or something. Yeah.
No, don't try and translate Russian. We don't want World War III happening.
I could be the peacemaker. I could be like the UN. Kofi Annan.
Oh my God. Imagine that.
So
I send Natalie in.
Putin that's listening. Maybe it's Putin that's listening.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's going, do you know what? I'm fed up of all the whatever's going on in the world. I'm just going to listen to Stuck in the Middle podcast. You never know. But otherwise, I think really the translation part, Natalie, just stick to English, okay? At least we're safe then.
I will stick to English, yes, for sure. For sure, I'll stick to English. Anyhow, once again, we've come to the end of another fabulous episode of Stuck in the Middle podcast. And no sign of a creaky knee joke or a hip or an old person joke too, because obviously nothing is creaking. We are doing well.
Yeah, I think these weeks are actually flying by. We're on episode 5 now already, and we're going to record episode 6 on Sunday as well, which is really exciting, which we can't really talk about yet, but we hope that will kick off. But it's really nice, but we just really want to ask a big favour for everybody. If you've got this far and you've listened to us this far and you enjoy our podcast as well and you're enjoying our jokes and our stupidity, then I would just say, please give us a share. Just click that button. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And all you need to do is just share it on your Facebook or share it with your friends in WhatsApp, or just give us a like and a comment.
Yeah, and if you flat out refuse to share us, just be aware I will be stalking your Facebook, your TikTok, your Instagram, any account I can get to, because I am so super technologically advanced.
You are.
So I will be looking. Yeah. But no, all joking aside, drop us a comment, give us a like, keep us going, because we enjoy the fact that we know that you're enjoying us. So it means a lot to us.
It does, yeah. And so you can find us on all the platforms, all the socials, so YouTube, Facebook, etc. You know where we are, and you can listen to us on all the major platforms too.
Yes, and we appreciate you and we thank you. So stay safe and stay stuck in the middle.
See you later. Bye. Bye.